As we sliding quietly up Amsterdam's lively waterways on an unseasonably hot fall night, ship business proprietor Rick Coolidge, 38, admits how channel water supply rest in my veins. Always with his automatically minded grandpa renewed a bike, later a motorcycle, later a ship behind in the 1920s, Mr. Coolidge's household has been at the cardiac of Amsterdam's visitor channel ship industry. The Princess Irina, that one day took Winston Churchill up the canals, is quiet since he's electrical. All you listen is the tick of the water supply creature churned up by the prop. And down there are no sharp diesel engine vapor to ruin the expertise. While Mr. Coolidge had to get the steering wheel of the household industry next the flash die of his dad in 2013, he wasn't daunted since same-d been work the canals with he was a little boy. Now the Rederage Coolidge ship business he rest in his woman Daniela is one of the greatest plowing Amsterdam's renowned canals. It owns 32 boats out of on 150 public catering to the town's lot tourists. But while the municipal government of Amsterdam specified how all boats would include to selector of diesel engine to electrical force by 2025, in an force to bring contamination and hothouse gas emissions, ship companies were floored in a enormous, and costly, problem. We choose to do all how is nice for the environmental, says Mr. Coolidge diplomatically, yet it is departure to price us millions of euros. Too lot. Yet if we don't do it we win get allowed to work, so our boats will be fair piece metal. He has transformed 6 boats so far, it conducted on 3 months to stripe out the old diesel engine motor and set the electrical motor and batteries. A common 23M, 75FOOT, visitor ship as necessary on 66 batteries, he says, manufacturing the transformation price about 165,000 to 250,000 euros, $189,000 to $287,000, 145,000 pounds to 220,000 pounds, per ship. But the engines are quieter, janitor and more profitable to run. Ship companies should compensate their expenses in on 12-year, onto the Paris trial on portability and environment, a flesh support stable transportation projects. They can be recharged in on 10 several hours and recent on 2 days among extortion, says Sigrid Hanekamp, an annex engineering of Holland Cell Business Lee Works, that given the batteries for Rederage Coolidge's boats. These batteries are not yours common conduct acid kind historically utilized in cars, or though the Li-ion ones proper norm in electrical vehicles, she explains. They're Li-iron phosphate, a chemical Lee Works believes is more than lasting and ecologically amiable. They might not be as power tight as some types of cell, but they can be loaded rapidly and recent much longer rather than Li-ion batteries, the business says. And as they use ferrous quite rather than the lot less than abundant they're facilitating to make and less than inclined to cost fluctuations. But isn't water supply and power a hazardous mixture? Arjun Kuijman, CEO of eShip, a company how transform diesel engine boats to electrical, says associated sensors on the batteries are always send productivity information behind to the ship business's staff. Software program monitors the public health and accusation of every cell. And if any water supply does get in to the isolated block, a detonator beating, insulating it, and an alarm signal alerts the carrier behind at basis. Human beings utilized to believe it was unfeasible to do a big vessel electrical 10 years back, but we've shown how it can be made, says Mr. Kuijman, whose business tends to do a lively trading above the following few years. By 2020, Amsterdam urged to include diminished power intake by 20% and enlarged use of revolving power by the identical percent. The electrification of channel flight boats is a considerable portion of the schedule. But else problem the ship company's person is installation quite berth charge stations. Mr. Coolidge says he will include to totter the charge roster, as it doesn't do business feeling to include one charge plant per ship. The is wherever a couple-day operational band and tracking software program comes inconvenient. If a ship captain drives too quick, down there's a 6 km/h, 4 mph, rate range on the domestic canals, and drains the batteries too rapidly, the software program alerts staff, that later warns the captain. Amsterdam has been a young pioneer in cheap carbon transportation for lot year. Behind in 2009 the Lovers Ship business startup, the at first visitor ship given by hydrogen gas cells. The Nemo H2 uses hydrogen gas and oxygen supply to build power, the just-on product is water supply steam. And over the year, the Netherlands and Belgium announced a schedule to start null emissions, personality piloting canister barges to sailing of Amsterdam, Antwerp and Rotterdam. The barges could shoot 23,000 freight transport of the roads, claims Seaport Insert, the company manufacturing the boats. Time refurbishment channel, boats in electrical engines and batteries is a period-consuming and costly problem. Amsterdam is hoping the janitor air and waterways will draw more than tourists, be superior for living nature, and promote to carbon sequestration radiation reducing targets.